Have you ever really stopped to think about the giant, invisible systems that pretty much run your digital life? We're talking data, algorithms, regulations, and most of the time, we just click accept and get on with our day. But behind the scenes, there's a quiet battle being fought for your rights by a group you would probably never expect.
So, who is calling the shots? Is it just the big tech companies, the government, or is there maybe someone else out there looking out for you, playing by a completely different set of rules?
Well, it turns out that some of the most fierce defenders of our digital rights are working from one of our oldest, most trusted public institutions. All right, let's dive in and unmask these hidden guardians of your data.
To really get what they're doing, we first have to wrap our heads around this fundamental conflict, a clash right at the heart of our digital world. It's this constant tension between what's technically legal and what's ethically right. And that, right there, is the tightrope these guardians walk every single day.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. See, on one side, you've got legal compliance. Think of that as the floor. It's the bare minimum you have to do to not get sued. But then, over on the other side, you have ethical conduct. And that's about reaching higher. It's the huge difference between what you have to do and what you should do.
And this is the absolute key. Ethical compliance means that even if the law says you can collect a ton of user data, you stop and ask yourself, but should I? Is this fair? Does it respect the person on the other end of the screen? This is the space where our hidden guardians live and work. And there they are, librarians. Seriously? For centuries, they've been committed to these exact principles. In the digital age, their job hasn't changed. It's just gotten way more complicated and, honestly, more important. They're on the front lines, navigating that tricky gap between the law and what's right, all on our behalf. So where is this fight actually taking place? Let's take a look at the 3 major digital battlegrounds where your local library is out there defending your rights, probably without you even knowing it. First up, the most valuable thing in the 21st century, your personal data. I mean, every time you check out an ebook, or use a library computer, or log into a database, you're leaving a data trail. This shows you exactly how it works. So take GDPR, right? Europe's big data law. A company might follow it just enough to tick the boxes. But a library takes it further, ethically. They practice data minimization, which means they only collect what is absolutely 100% necessary. And they have policies to actively delete your borrowing history, not because a law forces them to, but because their ethical code says that what you read is your business and nobody else's. Next up, you've got this epic clash between national security and your right to privacy. And this is an area where librarians have shown some real guts, often standing right between their patrons and the government. Just imagine getting one of these things. A national security letter lets the government demand records without even getting a judge to sign off on it. And the worst part? It usually comes with a gag order, which means you can't tell anyone you even got it. It puts libraries in a totally impossible spot. Do you follow the law, or do you stick to your ethical duty to protect your patrons? So to get around this, librarians got really clever. They came up with something called a warrant canary. Since they're legally banned from saying they have received an order, some of them started regularly publishing a statement saying they haven't. Now, if that statement suddenly disappears from their website, well, they've sent a powerful silent message without ever breaking the law. It is a brilliant, brilliant piece of ethical resistance. And the third battleground is the internet itself, the very structure of it. This is the fight for a level playing field, where everyone gets a fair shot at information. And that brings us to net neutrality. The idea is actually really simple. Your internet provider shouldn't be able to slow down your connection to, say, a library's research database while creating a super fast lane for a streaming service that paid them extra cash. It's all about keeping the internet open and fair. For libraries, the stakes here are just massive. Without net neutrality, what you get is basically censorship by money. The wealthiest voices get the fast lane, while crucial resources for schools and communities could get stuck buffering forever. And that is why library associations are some of the biggest, loudest champions for strong net neutrality rules. So you've got all these pressures coming from every direction. How on earth do they make these tough calls? Well, it's not random. They rely on this really sophisticated ethical compass that's been built over centuries of thought.
Yeah, they're using established frameworks to help guide them. For example, they might look at the consequences of a choice. Will this do the most good and the least harm for people? That's consequentialism. Or they might focus on their core duty to protect privacy, believing that rule is non-negotiable no matter what.
That's deontology. It's this constant balancing act to find the most ethical path forward.
And look, this isn't just individual librarians making things up as they go. Their actions are grounded in professional codes, like the American Library Association's Code of Ethics, which specifically puts your privacy and your right to access information right at the top of the list.
Okay, so why does any of this matter to you? Because the principles they are fighting for inside the library walls are the exact same principles at risk every single time you go online.
In a world that desperately wants to track every single click, they create a safe space where your curiosity can be private. They believe what you read, what you search for, what you learn is your business, and your business alone.
In an age of paywalls, confusing algorithms, and so much disinformation, they are fighting to make sure that knowledge stays a public good, something for everyone, not just for the people who can afford to pay for it. At the end of the day, they are pushing for a digital world that isn't just shaped by corporate profits or government surveillance, but by the public interest, by principles like equity and fairness and justice. So, the next time you're staring at a privacy policy and you're about to click accept, just remember this: you're not totally alone in this. You have allies working quietly right in your own community who've been fighting for these principles for a very, very long time. In the battle for a better, more private digital world, your libraries got your back.